All right, today we're going to jump right into one of the absolute giants in the world of project management, Scrum. You've probably heard of it, right? Teams all over the globe are using it, so let's peel back the layers and see what really makes it tick. You know the feeling, don't you? You spend weeks, maybe even months crafting this perfect, detailed plan. It's beautiful. But then the second you actually start the work, boom, everything changes. Maybe the market does a 180, a key customer throws in some new feedback, or some totally unexpected problem just lands in your lap. It is so frustrating. It makes you wonder, what if there's a better way to handle all this chaos? Well, guess what? There is, and it's called Scrum. Now, the first thing to get is that Scrum isn't some super rigid, step-by-step rulebook. Think of it more like a lightweight framework. It's specifically designed to help teams, roll with the punches, tackle really complex problems, and actually deliver stuff that people want in these short, focused bursts. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get a solid handle on what Scrum actually is. Then, we'll dig into its 3 core principles. After that, we'll look at the specific roles on a Scrum team. We'll talk about the rhythm of the work, the sprint, and the tools they use, which are called artifacts. And finally, we'll get to the secret sauce that really makes it all work. Okay, first things first. The entire Scrum framework is built on this really simple but incredibly powerful foundation. It all comes down to 3 core principles. These aren't just suggestions, they are the why behind absolutely everything you do in Scrum. That's right, just 3. The whole thing rests on just 3 big ideas. And these aren't just rules to follow blindly. They're more like the philosophical pillars that hold up the whole structure, guiding every single action and decision the team makes. And here they are: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. The easiest way to think about this is like a constant feedback loop, right? First, you make everything visible. That's transparency. Because it's visible, you can check in on it regularly to see how things are going. That's inspection. And then you adjust your plan based on what you find, and that's adaptation. This cycle, this is the engine that drives Scrum. You're going to see it pop up over and over again. So if those are the core principles, who are the people actually making it all happen? Well, Scrum is very specific here. It lays out 3 distinct roles. Each one has a laser-sharp focus, and they're all designed to work together to create a team that can manage itself and perform at a really high level. First up, you've got the product owner. This person is obsessed with one thing: value. They're the voice of the customer. Then there's the Scrum Master, and this is key. They're a coach and a facilitator, not a traditional manager. And finally, you have the development team. This is the crew of multi-talented pros who actually build the thing. Now, I really want you to pay attention here, because this is where Scrum really breaks from the old way of doing things. It's all about the Scrum Master role. See, a traditional project manager directs people and assigns tasks, but a Scrum Master, they're a servant leader. Their job isn't to command, it's to serve the team by coaching them, clearing roadblocks out of their way, and basically protecting them from outside noise so they can focus. It's a huge mindset shift. Okay, so we've got the why, the principles, and the who, the players. But what about the how and when? How does the work actually get done? Well, in Scrum, everything happens inside a steady, consistent rhythm called a sprint. You can really think of the sprint as the heartbeat of Scrum. So every sprint, which is just a fixed period of time, usually a month or less, is like a mini project. And it contains 4 key events. You kick things off with sprint planning. You stay on track with a daily Scrum. At the end, you show off what you built in the sprint review, and then you look back on how you can improve in the sprint retrospective. See how that works? Each one of these meetings is a dedicated time to practice transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Now, that daily pulse I mentioned, that's the daily Scrum. It's a quick 15-minute huddle just for the development team. And let me be super clear about this. It is not a status report for a manager. It's a planning meeting for the team by the team. It's where they synchronize their work and create a plan for the next 24 hours. It's where those core principles come to life every single day. During this quick huddle, each person on the team answers 3 simple questions to get everyone on the same page. The first one is all about transparency. Basically, what did I get done yesterday that helped us move closer to our goal for this sprint? The second question is about looking ahead. Again, being transparent about the plan. It's simply, what am I going to work on today to help us hit that same goal? And the third question, this one might be the most important of all. It's where inspection and adaptation come in. The question is, are there any blockers or issues getting in my way or the team's way?
This is so crucial because it brings problems out into the open right away, so the Scrum Master can jump in and help clear the path.
And this right here, this is a perfect example of Scrum's incredible discipline. Every single event has a maximum time limit. It's called a time box. Just look at the daily Scrum. It's always 15 minutes. Doesn't matter if your sprint is 1 week or 4 weeks long, 15 minutes, that's it. This is brilliant because it stops meetings from dragging on forever and keeps the entire team razor-focused on what really matters, getting work done. Okay, so for all this transparency stuff to actually work, you need some tools, right? Scrum calls these artifacts. Don't let the fancy name fool you. They're basically just simple tools that make the work, the plan, and the goal visible to every single person involved. The two big ones you need to know are the product backlog and the sprint backlog. Here's an easy way to think about it. The product backlog is the giant master wish list for the entire product. It's everything we could possibly want to do, and it's owned by the product owner. Then, for each sprint, the development team grabs a small chunk of items from the top of that master list and puts them into the sprint backlog. That becomes their focused, bite-sized plan for just that one sprint. And what do you get at the end of all that work in a sprint? You get the increment. Now, this is a super important point. The increment isn't just a pile of work we did. No way. It has to be a usable, valuable, and this is the key, potentially shippable slice of the final product. It's the real, tangible value the team puts on the table at the end of every single sprint. So let's recap. We've talked about the principles, the roles, the events, and the artifacts. That's pretty much the mechanics of Scrum, right? But here's the thing. Just going through the motions of all that stuff isn't enough to be successful. There are a couple of final crucial ideas that really tie it all together. I mean, think about it. What actually makes sure that the stuff you deliver every sprint is high quality and not just half-baked? And what is the glue that fosters the trust and teamwork you need for a team to really, truly click? Well, the quality question is answered by something called the definition of done. It's exactly what it sounds like. The entire Scrum team gets together and agrees on a formal, shared checklist of what it means for any piece of work to be considered done. This isn't just for one person. It applies to everything. It's their collective commitment to quality, and it ensures everyone is on the same page. And as for the fuel for collaboration, that comes from the 5 Scrum values. They are commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect. These aren't just feel-good words on a poster. When a team really lives and breathes these values, it creates an environment of trust and safety. And that's the kind of environment where people feel empowered to solve really tough problems together. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question you can ask. See, it's pretty easy to just go through the motions of Scrum, right? You can hold all the meetings, have all the right roles on paper. But the real magic, the real power of Scrum comes from deeply embracing the principles and actually living the values. So take a look at your team and ask yourself, are you just doing Scrum or are you truly being Agile?